Coming up, UTRGV officially purchases a Brownsville downtown building for a performing arts center. Details ahead. Plus, a financial advisor gives tips to budget during the holiday season. And last week highlights for sports. KVAQ-TV starts now. Hey vaqueros, welcome back. This is the last 2023 fall edition of KVAQ-TV. I'm Alba Cantu. Today is Monday, December 4th, and at the top of the newscast, after the official purchase of the Majestic Theater and adjacent building, UTRGV will soon begin the work toward having its own performing arts center in Brownsville. Andrea, give us the update.
The official acquisition in downtown Brownsville will tie the university and city together, leading this historic building into its next chapter.
We have a number of priorities that we'll be exploring. Some of those priorities are to develop some synergy between our film, music technology, animation, and game design programs into one space. There's so much. We also currently don't offer any dance or theater classes in Brownsville, so this is an opportunity for us to be able to have the facilities to do that.
The adjacent building will not only serve as a backstage area, but will also provide classrooms and studio spaces. A goal of this project is to maintain the theater's iconic vintage look while providing the necessary resources for students. College of Fine Arts Dean Jeffrey Ward addresses this as just one step into the list of needs in the college, and says the acquisition came after meeting 100 film students during a town hall last year. Theater junior Eliza Roldan comes from Brownsville to the Edinburgh campus for all her classes. Roldan says it would be convenient to have classrooms in Brownsville and a place for their performances,
so that people don't have to struggle with the commute or feel like they can't do theater as a major because it's all over here, or have to move over here. So
parking is being addressed, as Ward says UTRGV is working with the city of Brownsville to obtain a designated lot for the university. Another possible option will be a new bolt route to the theater. The university will start off with a public call for architects in early January and will move on into its design process in the spring or summer. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Andrea Flores.
An at-home gourmet cookie business is now a new coffee shop in downtown Harlingen. Cafe 406 owner is sharing the scoop. Erica Shaw started selling her cookies from home after a friend shared the idea. Cafe 406 sells a variety of baked goods such as cookies, bagels, melts, and coffee. Now, being the sole owner of her own cafe, Shaw says it is a dream come true.
It hasn't even really sunk in yet, to be honest. To do something that you love to do every day, like I even get up early to come to work sometimes. I never could have said that for any of my other jobs.
For more information, call 956-244-8084 or visit their Instagram at _cafe406. The holiday season is here, bringing extra spending and financial struggle. What can you do to alleviate the stress of budgeting during the holidays? Julia Guerrero with more.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, last year's department store retail sales for December was $17.3 billion. With the expected increase in sales for this December, what are some ways people can plan for the holiday budget? Financial advisor Liz Shamlian says an initial way to build a budget is to start saving small amounts throughout the year and create a savings account.
That extra money, you'd be surprised putting away $5, $10, $20, and before you know it, you have a couple of thousand just put away. As far as getting prepared for the holidays, if you do want to put a little bit of money away every month, that way you have that, put away just for gifts, and that way it doesn't hit you so hard at the end of the year.
Shamlian says making a list and checking it twice is a way to help keep your budget on track. Shamlian shares a few tips to help this holiday season and encourages acts of service instead of gifts, taking cash to pay for gifts instead of cards, sticking to the cash budget, and starting a savings account for next year to help get a jump start on budgeting. Psychology sophomore Stephanie Ann Garcia says organizing, planning out bills, and everyday necessities helps to not overspend during the holiday season.
I try to organize and schedule everything. Like I'm literally can turn around and look at my calendar and I already have the month scheduled out. And I have everything set up from the bills to appointments to what's going to be needed, what's going to take place. So that has helped me a lot.
Garcia says there are resources available to assist those in need, including churches that provide financial assistance and gifts for the holidays, as well as food pantries such as the one on campus. Shamlian and Garcia encourage people to be mindful of spending, plan ahead, and accept assistance when needed to help alleviate the stress of holiday budgeting. And just maybe the holiday season will be a little more joyful. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Julia Guerrero.
The Brownsville Holiday Village is now open and ready to enchant visitors through this winter season. Monica Chavez with more.
Since November 20, the Holiday Village located at Dean Porter Park opened its doors for the public and will be open every day from 6 to 11 p.m. at no cost until New Year's Day.
Families can come out and it's wholesome and it's not having to do with technology, and they can just come out, walk, if you move your bodies.
Brownsville's Holiday Village board member Liz Hanley says 14 years ago a member of the board brought the idea back from Utah, kickstarting the Holiday Village with 10 cottages. Visitors can enjoy more than 34 charming cottages at the Holiday Village, where they can discover food vendors, free photos with Santa on weekends, and live entertainment on select days. Chair of the Holiday Village, Laurie Ray, says in order to keep the village free for the public, they rely solely on volunteers such as the Parks and Recreation Department and the city, who provides security, storage, and transportation. Ray says each cottage is stored and refreshed each year by youth carpenters, but the lack of storage space limits them from having a bigger village.
When the season is over, these are trucked in a parade with a police escort to the airport, and there's warehousing there where we keep them, where the city allows us to store them. We use them every year. In fact, every 5 years, it will be the same ones, and we add more to it.
And then we refurbish them every 5 years. They get new paint, new interior, and yes.
UTRGV is also hosting its first Holiday Village organized by the Campus Activities Board. It will be held in Edinburgh on December 5th from 5 to 7 and on the 6th from 4:30 to 6:30 in Brownsville. There will be food vendors, free decorating activities, pictures with Santa, and other surprises. Pride and Signature Committee Chair of the Campus Activities Board, Jimena Reyes, says they want to uplift students during finals week.
Truly, the inspiration was like the Hallmark movies. We just looked at the posters and we were like, we want that. Like, we want to have that white Christmas that doesn't happen in the Valley.
For more information on the Holiday Villages, you can visit holidayvillagebrownsville.com or utrgv.edu. For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, Monica Chavez.
Now, let us turn our attention to sports. Passing the ball over to you, Tristan.
The UTRGV men and women's basketball teams competed at the WAC openers last week, only to get the doors slammed shut. But when one door closes, another one opens. And for UTRGV athletics, that was the official commencing of construction of the Vaqueros Performance Center last Tuesday in Edinburgh. UTRGV President Guy Bailey and Texas Women's Hall of Famer Val La Mancha took the first dig in the dirt for the Vaqueros Performance Center, which will feature an academic success center named after Bailey and La Mancha. UTRGV football head coach Travis Bush says the commitment from the university's leadership to the future of the athletics programs will place them on top.
Again, knowing that the plans were in place to make this thing first class, and we had the leadership and the university behind it. And then the third reason is the Rio Grande Valley, and to come down here, and it's always been a special place for me, and to have the opportunity to give back to these communities and be able to start football here for the first time, it's been good.
Completion of construction of the Vaqueros Performance Center is set to coincide with the start of football season in the fall of 2025. Now, bouncing onto the court. The UTRGV men and women's basketball teams took back-to-back losses against Grand Canyon University last week. The UTRGV Vaqueros men's basketball team fell to the Grand Canyon Lopes 79-69 at the UTRGV Fieldhouse last Wednesday. Junior Hassan Abdul Hakim led the Vaqueros and scored a career-high 21 points during the game. Some big moments caught the eyes of fans in the stands, like junior Elijah Elliott's 2 3-pointers that fired up the start of the second half. Abdul Hakim was able to trip up the Lopes with 5 free throws and a series of layups near the last minutes of the second half that pushed the Vaqueros closer to the Lopes. The crowd tried to give some encouragement, but was left cold by the Lopes' persistence with near-perfect free throws and outpacing the Vaqueros' defense. With a 10-point chasm by the game's end, the Vaqueros continue their losing streak following the Acrisure Invitational in November. The Vaqueros men's basketball team continued the WAC series with a match against Tarleton State on Saturday. To view those results, visit goutrgv.com. Now, Moving on to the other side of the court, the Vaqueros women's basketball team went toe-to-toe with the Grand Canyon Lopes as well, only on the Lopes' home turf.
The game's final score reached 63-50 last Wednesday, with Grand Canyon maintaining a lead that carried from a 10-point uninterrupted run at the start. The women's team faced the same defensive struggle as the men's team while also playing on unfamiliar ground. For the Vaqueros, the loss adds to a streak continuing since the start of basketball season in November, 0-6 as of the Grand Canyon match. The women put up a fight regardless, with junior Kate Hackerott scoring 13 points and 7 rebounds for the Vaqueros. Hackerott and junior Ariana Sturdivant put up the strongest effort in fending off the Lopes, with Sturdivant combining free throws, 3-pointers, and a total of 10 points throughout the game to help keep the Vaqueros' momentum going. Nevertheless, the Lopes were unbothered by these attempts as their 4 double-figure scorers outdid the best efforts of the Vaqueros.
The Vaqueros women's basketball team continued the WAC series as well, with a match against Charleston State on Saturday. The men and women's basketball teams, however, will play their next games against Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the South Texas Showdown on December 5th. Those have been the UTRGV Sports highlights for the week. For KVAQ-TV, I'm Tristan Cortez, tossing it back to you, Alba.
And that's a wrap for us today. Make sure to watch us Monday through Friday on Vicas Monitors and social media. For KVAQ-TV, for the last time, I'm Alba Cantu. Have a great winter break, Vaqueros.